everyone. Welcome to the Intuitive IQ live Q&A. This event will teach you some very powerful tools, how to create the character of your successful self, and also how to create the character of your successful future self. These are two very powerful tools that you can use right now to create much more health and much more success for yourself. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about myself and Intuitive IQ, and then I'm going to teach you these methods, and then I'm going to open this up to questions. My name is Mike Rose. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder and peak performance consultant for Intuitive IQ. For over a decade, I have been working with many people in dozens of countries around the world to help them be more healthy and more successful. I've basically spent my life training to be an athlete and an artist. I've done many things at a very high level. I played and taught tennis professionally. I wrote and recorded and performed music on many stages. I'm a professionally trained, award-winning filmmaker and actor. I'm a photographer, and I've been an Intuitive IQ consultant for over a decade. But during this time, during my life, I have experienced far from only success. I've been through a tremendous amount of difficult times, experienced a lot of trauma. I come from a very severely dysfunctional family. I was born with bipolar disorder. I was in a life-changing, career-ending car accident when I was 16, wrecked my professional tennis career. I then had a very bad drug addiction for about 5 years, and really the list goes on and on, many dysfunctional relationships. But, you know, when I was 20 years old, I realized that I need to figure out how to become a healthy and thriving human being, that achieving success in arts and athletics was not enough, and thus began my journey to figure that out. Intuitive IQ is a result of that process of my life of constant training and creating success as an athlete and an artist. Also figuring out how to survive and how to thrive as a human being and how to overcome these many difficult challenges. So what I want to talk to you about today are two very important methods that you can use to increase your health and increase your success. The first, which is necessary to do first, is creating the character of your successful self. After you do that, then you can create the character of your successful future self, and I will describe both of those to you now. The important thing to really understand is that you are a successful person right now in this moment. And if you can figure out how to identify everything that is successful about you, then you will have a much more powerful relationship to your self-intelligence, to what you use every day to create success for yourself. Now, the way that I do this and the way that I want you to do it is to identify everything that is successful about yourself. So write down on a piece of paper, write down your strengths, write down your talents, write down the skills that you've acquired over the course of your life, write down the accomplishments that you've had in your life, and write down other successes that you've had over the course of your life, other successful experiences. After you write all this down, you will see very quickly that there is a wealth of reality about you, about yourself, and about your life that is really purely positive. There's no negative experiences there. There's no traumas. There's no failures. And I believe very strongly that these qualities represent who you truly are. And they are ultimately the qualities that you are using to go and to create yet more successful experiences for yourself and more accomplishments. So once you've established everything that is successful about yourself now in the present moment, you can then create the character of your future successful self by asking yourself, okay, so what are the goals that I am working to achieve right now? And how is my character going to change once I achieve those future goals. For example, if you're in law school and you're going to become a lawyer, how are you going to change as a person once you get your law degree? Are you going to be more confident? Are you going to have more trust in your ability to be disciplined, that you're going to actually do the studying and take those tests? Um, Figure out what those character traits that you are going to have, that you're going to possess once you accomplish your future goals, and then figure out how you can acquire those traits now. I will assure you that doing this is a very, very powerful way to not only figure out who you're going to become at a later time in life, but to create a really clear understanding that you have the ability to acquire these traits now, whether it's discipline or whether it's self-trust or whether it's some level of integrity. And if you acquire these traits now, you will realize that possessing these traits now enables you to achieve this future goal that you are seeking, in a much more powerful way. So just want to let you all know now, we just had a bunch of people come out here. So if you hear people talking in the background, that's who it is. We're at the beautiful Terranay Resort in Palos Verdes, where I work often. Come here and spend the day working in this beautiful environment. So we welcome these guests at the hotel who are joining us out here taking pictures of this incredible scenery that you see behind me. Alan Pritchard, hey Mike, let's get popcorn. Oh, he's getting popcorn. There you go. Well, hopefully Alan, after Alan gets his popcorn, he'll have some questions for me, so I can give you some more insights into what I'm talking about right now. Alan is a tremendous example of someone who I've done work with who is really amazing at creating the character of his future self. And as I have taught him to do it, the way that he is doing it is by looking into the past for experiences, memories, stories of when he had these traits that he wants to have in the future. So in this particular case, he possessed these traits before, and now he is tapping into his past to reestablish the fact that he in fact does still have these traits. And when he does that, he immediately acquires those traits, and then it dramatically increases his ability to create future success, because he now possesses a very important quality that is required to create success for himself. So I see that I've got some viewers here. I don't see any questions coming in. Of course, this is an unannounced event. I will be announcing these events and scheduling them soon, but right now this is an unannounced event. So we don't have as many viewers as we would like, but we do have some. And for those who are just joining us, we are talking about how to create the character of the successful self and how to create the character of the successful future self. So if you have any questions about that, please post them in the comments section, and then I will respond and give you some more insights. Until I see some questions in, I'm going to continue to talk about this a little bit more. Essentially, you know, we learn in actor training. I am a professionally trained actor and filmmaker, studied in the Bay Area for a number of years. And what we learn in actor training is very, very powerful, and that's what led me to these realizations. What we learn is that we are capable of creating character for a film, for a theater presentation, because we are capable of acquiring any traits that we want to for that particular role. We are capable of talking how we want to. We are capable of walking how we want to. Not only that, we are capable of developing other habits such as playing with our hair or looking to the side every now and then when we talk. Some people do that. Some people look down. So these are certain basic traits that the character has that we are very easily able to acquire. But we are able to acquire a lot more traits about the character as well. We are able to acquire traits such as how much self-confidence does this character have? Maybe the character has none, but in real life we have a lot. So we need to figure out how to um, create a character that doesn't have a lot of self-confidence. Well, conversely, maybe we don't have a lot of self-confidence, but the character does. So we have to figure out how we can authentically portray the, the character trait of self-confidence on screen. Well, you can do the exact same thing in your regular life. You can create the quality of self-confidence for your real character, and then you will portray that quality of self-confidence in your real life. Well, I see that we have 5 viewers here. We're talking about creating the character of the successful self and creating the character of the successful future self. I'd love to get some questions from you. This is an unannounced event, so understand that you have not come here specifically to ask questions, but now we have a question coming in from Alan, which is perhaps talk about harnessing past successes and future successful self together without letting any of the past traumas creeping in to the narrative. I found it didn't happen with me, but I can see that it might be a pitfall. Well, that's really interesting question that Alan's got there. You know, I was talking a little bit earlier about doing just that, about tapping into success from the past to actually access traits that maybe you possessed before, but don't possess now for whatever reason. You've lost them. And what Alan's question is what if you go into the past to access these traits that you want again for the character of your future self, but it brings up some kind of trauma that then inhibits you from becoming the character of your future self. And I would say, trauma is something that really needs to be dealt with separately. And if you go into the past, I'm guessing you're going into a past successful experience because that's the experience that's going to bring you the positive trait that you want for your future self. But in this discovery process, this discovery of the past, you realize that there's some trauma there that's inhibiting you. The best answer I can give right now for that is that you need to figure out how to heal that trauma. This is going to be a great realization for yourself to realize that, hey, I've got this trauma here and it may be inhibiting me. And then you've got to figure out how to heal that trauma, how to accept that experience and let go of it, come to terms with it first, and then let go of it. Emotional trauma is something I'm going to talk about more in other events, but it's important to note now that unhealed emotional trauma, whether it's a past failure or a mental or emotional trauma, has a really negative effect on us, me, you, and everyone else. It causes us to live in unhealthy emotional states of being. It negatively affects our self-esteem. And so, yeah, I'll talk about that more extensively, Alan, on another show, but I hope that that answered your question for now. Well, as I said, for new people that are showing up right now, I am Mike Rose, founder of Intuitive IQ. I am at the beautiful Terranay Resort in Palos Verdes, talking about how to create the character of the self and the character of the future self, and not only that, but to create the character of the successful self and the successful future self, because that's what this is all about. It's about being as healthy and successful as we can be. That is my role in life. It is my role not only for you, but for myself as well. I wake up every day working throughout the day to not only achieve success, but to figure out how I can become the healthiest and most successful person possible. And it is my goal to help you be as healthy and successful as possible. And so that's why I'm doing these live events for you here now. Um, so I think we're going to wrap this up today, since this is an unannounced event and don't have a lot of questions coming in. I highly encourage you to go to the Intuitive IQ website. That is intuitiveiq.com, and go to the blog link up top and scroll down. There is a wealth of information there. You'll find past events such as these there, and you will also find really at least an entire year's worth of blog posts describing how to become healthy and how to become successful. And this is not just information, but this is methods as well. I also highly encourage you to subscribe at the site. If you subscribe, I'll send you a free copy of my ebook, and you'll get many other cool benefits as well. And last but not least, if you are interested in making huge positive changes to your life and business very quickly, I suggest that you send me an email to info@intuitiveiq.com or contact me through the website, and I will get back to you to discuss possibly doing some consulting with you to teach you my 10-hour training program, which teaches very powerful additional methods that you won't find anywhere else in the world that will help you create health and success very quickly. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me. Truly grateful for your participation here. I am Mike Rose. Intuitiveiq.com is the website. Until next time, take care.